Hi, I'm Dr. Sara Spowart, and today we're going to talk about happiness. I have a PhD which focuses on this topic, and I'm excited to share with you things I learned about this. So what is happiness? People come into the sessions, no questions asked. They need the divorce to happen. They need their child to act a certain way. They need to lose 100 pounds. They need this or that. They need their job to be better. If you're trying to be positive all the time, you're denying what's really going on, and you can be in situations that are really bad for you, and that will come out in other ways. And I see this with clients where it comes out in porn addictions, drinking, gambling, and it can actually become a type of covert narcissism. So if you try to be happy all the time, positive all the time, it's not really what's going on. It's a mask, it's fake, and it will hurt you. You hurt yourself and you hurt other people eventually. I would say the biggest thing I found is people being really genuine and authentic with themselves and not telling themselves stories. So being brutally honest, which is really tough. Do I even like this work? Is this fitting me? Addiction, this happens a lot, being brutally honest. That would possibly be classified as mindfulness, where you're noticing things and you're just paying attention to the way that things are and then accepting, or deciding who you want to be. You know, some people that are, you could say, great teachers or great masters that say they're the embodiment of peace or the embodiment of love. Do you think that they just woke up that way? They chose to be that way. So happiness is the same thing. The more that we focus on things, the more it grows. So if we can focus on little small things throughout the day that help us to feel happy, it will actually increase how much we're experiencing our happiness every day. There's a lot of elements to life that are a lot like a stream. There's sort of a natural flow to things. And happiness, it's like a river that's adapting all the time. There's a saying I heard once that I really liked, that there's a secret wisdom to the things that we want. What that means is, let's say you are really drawn to a certain person for a relationship, or really drawn to study a certain thing or a certain job or whatever it is. Life is allowing that flow to happen. And when we get angry and stuck and we don't let go, we're hurting ourselves because there's other things ahead down, you could say down the river, that we can't see yet, but they're still coming, and they're gonna be the next things. So sometimes the stuff that we want, the stuff that is causing us pain, it's where our greatest growth can happen. It's absolutely part of the journey to have sadness, have anxiety, have anger. So everything has a purpose. It's just when it gets kind of out of control that it becomes a problem. For example, if your stomach hurts, it's a sign that you're hungry. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with your stomach. It means pay attention to me. It's a signal. Pain is actually critical. It's a feedback mechanism to let us know something's off. We don't feel right. Sadness can be the same way. It's a feedback that something in our life doesn't feel right. When we put these unrealistic expectations of stuff out there, I had one client tell me they needed to have $20 million. They're very far from that. I already know that part of this thinking is that it's a way to chase the happiness. Even if you get to the $20 million, if that happens, there's gonna be other new things because you're not addressing the root issues, which is the pattern of happiness in your everyday life. It's a mindset, it's a perspective on the world. We need food, water, shelter. We need to feel safe. We don't need as much as we think a lot of the time. And actually a more simplistic way of living is generally a happier way for most people. That doesn't mean you don't have dreams and aspirations. It's more you appreciate what you have. You appreciate the small things. So we appreciate that cup of coffee. We appreciate the view of the sky. We appreciate the moment we have 5 minutes free for ourselves. And when you do that, when you focus more on these little moments of appreciation or awe or connection, feeling happiness, you're creating more neural pathways in your brain, you could say, to create more of a happiness highway in your brain. So it becomes more normal. So this integrated mindfulness, but I would say it's sort of integrated happiness-infused mindfulness. With my PhD, I remember when I finished it and people were congratulating me. This is not this paper. This was a million tiny things over however many years. And when I see this with relationships, when I see this with thought streams and habits and the way people are living their life, it's a lot of little things, but we're just not paying attention. We go on autopilot. Another thing I would recommend, and people might think this is funny, there's something called laughing therapy, and I don't even know if it's like an official thing, but essentially what it is you can go to the mirror or you purposely integrate throughout your day where you smile or you make yourself laugh for, like, let's say 10 seconds, 30 seconds, but you do it every day. So those people that you see that are smiling and laughing a lot, and you're like, why are they happy? Why do they do this? It's partly a habit. So we have to piece out, one way of knowing who you are is to see what feels best. Do you feel better when you're spending more time by yourself alone? Do you feel better when you're out with people? And that can be one way of understanding introversion versus extroversion. You can understand who you are based off of partly how you're feeling and being present while you're doing it. The other thing I'd say is your values. Reflecting on, what are my values? What matters to me? And what do I kind of naturally like to do? I would say probably the values are the most important piece. And understanding even if you have any values of your own, I come across people where they don't even know what their own values are. They just go along with whatever is most popular because they want to be loved, they want to be liked. The 3 main action steps I would recommend that you can do starting today, and I think are a great practice, are try to appreciate, let's say, 3 to 5 small things a day. The other thing I would say is try to intentionally smile or intentionally laugh at least once a day, even if you're just taking 10 seconds to do it, practicing that. And then the other thing, which is super important, is being your authentic self and figuring out what that means and how you're expressing that in the world. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you really enjoyed these videos. Please follow me, or you can check out my website if you want to connect more, www.drsaraspowart.com. And yeah, feel free to reach out and connect, and look ahead for future videos in the series.